Join me as I challenge myself to spend a full hour alone in the dark and face whatever isolation terror comes my way. Isolation and fear, two words that can send shivers down your spine when combined. Being alone in the dark can be a terrifying experience, and today we're going to dive deep into the psychological effects of it. When you're alone in the dark, your imagination can run wild. The darkness can play tricks on your mind, making you see and hear things that aren't even there. The central challenge of isolation is the feeling of being completely disconnected from the world. No human interaction, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. This can be especially challenging for people who struggle with anxiety or depression, as the darkness can amplify their symptoms. Imagine being trapped in a small, dark room with no escape. The walls start closing in on you, and you can feel the weight of the darkness pressing down on your chest. This sense of confinement can lead to feelings of claustrophobia, making it difficult to breathe, think, or even move. The fear of being alone in the dark can be so overwhelming that it can lead to a full-blown panic attack. Studies have shown that isolation can have a profound impact on our mental health. It can lead to feelings of loneliness, despair, and even hallucinations. In extreme cases, it can even drive people to the brink of madness. The darkness can be so overwhelming that it can make you question your own sanity. But why do we fear the dark so much? Is it the unknown, the uncertainty, or the feeling of being vulnerable and helpless? Whatever the reason, one thing is certain: being alone in the dark is a primal fear that taps into our deepest anxieties. One of the most fascinating aspects of isolation is the way it can bring out our deepest fears. For some, it's the fear of spiders, snakes, or other creepy crawlies. For others, it's the fear of being trapped, confined, or lost. Whatever the fear, being alone in the dark can amplify it to alarming proportions. I've spoken to people who have experienced some of the most terrifying isolation experiences, from being trapped in an elevator to being lost in a haunted house. One of the most chilling stories I've heard is from a woman who was alone in her house when the power went out. She heard footsteps coming from upstairs, but when she went to investigate, there was no one there. The experience was so terrifying that it left her with PTSD. Stories like these are a stark reminder of the psychological impact of isolation and fear. But it's not just the fear of the unknown that's terrifying, it's the fear of ourselves. Being alone in the dark can force us to confront our deepest, darkest fears. It can make us question our own morality, our own sanity, and our own mortality. In that sense, the darkness can be a mirror that reflects our deepest anxieties and fears. One of the most powerful insights into the experience of isolation is the fact that it can be a transformative experience. When we're forced to confront our fears, we can emerge stronger, braver, and more resilient on the other side. It's a reminder that fear is not something to be feared, but something to be faced head-on. In conclusion, being alone in the dark is a terrifying experience that can tap into our deepest anxieties and fears. But it's also a reminder of our own strength and resilience. By facing our fears, we can emerge stronger, braver, and more compassionate. Thanks for watching, and if you've had a similar experience of being alone in the dark, please share it with us in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about coping strategies for fear, be sure to check out our next video.